I remember when Nate would make a point, and he'd be like, let's look up the meaning of the word. The meaning of the word adversity means great misfortune. Well, I did that, and I went and looked at the actual rules on overtime, because we know Josh Allen didn't get in the field. Here's what it says. Both teams must have the opportunity to possess the ball once during the extra period, unless the team that receives the opening kickoff scores a touchdown on its initial possession, in which case it is the winner. Or if the team kicking off to start the overtime period scores a safety on the receiving team's initial possession, in which case the team that kicked off is the winner. After watching that game last night, Schrager, do you feel the NFL needs to rewrite, rehash, update, or change our overtime rules?
There's been a lot of inaccuracies out there in the last 12 hours, and a lot of them are saying that the coin flip determined the game. The Buffalo Bills' horrendous defense down the stretch determined that game. And the Buffalo Bills' inability to understand late in the game clock management with 13 seconds left, the many things you could have done, cost them the game. And for a defensive coach, Sean McDermott, to be on the other side of that is tough to swallow. For Bill Cowher, a defensive coach, to go on CBS immediately after the game and be like, we got robbed of it because of the coin flip and how the rule... No matter how this thing was going to play out, it could have been avoided had the Bills played defense, had the Bills not messed up that kickoff. You cannot say that the coin flip was the reason they lost in this game. The reason they lost is because they were up 3 points with, 13 seconds left kicking off, and they didn't get up to. Now, look, do I think they should go to college? I don't know. Have you watched some of these 8 overtime college marathon games? They're not great. I've watched Arkansas play Texas A&M.
They're not classics.
They're not classics. No one talks about them. This was unfortunate. It stunk. And I know 2 years ago when the Chiefs lost this way to the Patriots.
It was Mahomes on the sideline.
Yeah, Mahomes on the sideline. And they went to the competition committee and they proposed rules and said, hey, can we change this? Can we do it? And it didn't even get to the voting point. So it means that the rest of the leagues, the owners, the competition committee were like, nah, we're good how it is. Is this enough to say, hey, we were robbed of this? I don't think we were robbed of anything. I think we had a great game. And to think that we're waking up this morning to say that that was why this game has changed, I don't know. To me, I think that the overtime rules are just fine. Just got to find a way to not get to overtime.
The Chiefs have been on both sides of this. I'm glad that you brought up that 2018 point. But before we really dig into this, I want to know if there's enough heat around the subject to see if any change will actually happen, so we don't waste our time here at the breakfast table. Rappaport joining us right now. What are your thoughts? What are you hearing? Is there enough heat around this overtime situation that we might see those rules revisited by the league?
By the way, Schrager brought up a good point. A couple different places that the Bills could have stopped them 13 seconds to go, obviously, in overtime. Defense is a part of it. Special teams is a part of it. It all gets wrapped up into one. Obviously, it's not just the overtime rule. But yes, based on how the system is, based on the fact that teams often make proposals themselves, as the Chiefs did several years ago, for the competition committee to consider after situations like this where it creates all this discussion. You can expect a team to make a proposal and ask the competition committee to consider change. So yeah, the competition is likely going to happen this coming offseason. That is generally the case, and I would expect it to happen again. Also worth remembering, guys, that it took several years for the traditionalists to come off the sudden death overtime. There's a lot there. It was something, obviously, that had been done for years. It also was pretty exciting. So that took a couple years to change. And when it got tabled in 2019 during that offseason, it was about minimizing injuries. Remember, they had just shortened the overtime, didn't want to prolong it by giving an extra possession. So certainly there are reasons why it is the way it is. But to answer your question, yes, I would expect it to come up this offseason and to be discussed by the competition committee.
And there's a lot of different ways you could go. Look at in the regular season, we already added an extra game. Do I want a lengthy overtime situation in a regular season game?
Right.
Probably not. But in the playoffs, I would love to see the other team try to answer. So lots of things are up in the air as we continue the conversation. Thanks, Ian. Appreciate you. Let's throw it to the Hall of Famer for his thoughts. Regular season, I don't want it. Yeah. Playoffs, I want it.
Well, this is the thing. If you're going to address it, then you have to address the roster. Because after we played for 60 minutes, the NFL 47-man roster, it's not enough players. If you're just going to continue to keep playing, you're going to have to address that. I think that the rule is safe the way that it is because the visiting team has a number of opportunities. Number one is with the coin toss. So you would say if the visiting team won the coin toss, is it fair that the home team, Kansas City, a couple years ago, same thing happened to them? It's a team game. Special teams, defense, Buffalo had given up 17 points a game during the regular season. Now they're looking for help. They knew at the beginning of the game. That's why they went for it twice on 4th down, the first drive. So now we get to overtime. They know you have to be super aggressive. Leslie Frazier, they should have decided to go after Mahomes. The same way they started the game, they didn't end the game that way. Very, very passive in their coverages, and that's why they lose, not because of the overtime rule.
Highway robbery.
You wanted it.
I appreciate the takes, and Peter, you're very virtuous about you got to stop them on defense, and I get that. Somebody has said that take. This fails the eye test. It's as simple as that. You're watching the game and you see how it ends, and you're saying, I don't like that product. I don't like what that is. And I do think this has enough heat to maybe cause a change. Here's what I think. The overtime rule I thought was terrible. When you would complete 2 passes and kick a 50-yard field goal and it's over, they made it better by saying you got to do a touchdown on the first possession. I think that you do some of what Kay's saying. The regular season thing, you can't have this nonsense with 7 overtimes, all that. I don't like the college setup. That's very rock and jock. It's beneath the NFL. I think you should have a different rule for the playoffs than you do the regular season, which they already do. Because if overtime ends in a tie in the playoffs, you play another overtime.
Right.
I think what I would love to see is just a pure quarter, a 10-minute quarter. Play it out, let the clock expire, that's it. Only for the playoffs, so that you're not taxing these guys' bodies 3 or 4 times if you play a bunch of overtime games, and that's it. Score a touchdown, Josh Allen gets the ball back, time expires, and if you want to go a level deeper and say you have to go for 2 after the touchdown to ensure there won't be another side, that's fine. I don't see a lot of the harm there, and I know that the players who would potentially be at risk by being on the field more would love to have that rule changed, all of them. The NFL is very good at seeing a football shame that happens out there and something that's disappointing to fans, and I think we had one last night. I understand the Bills should have stopped them on defense. I get that. Yeah. I think a pure quarter only in the playoffs is pretty clean. It's not radical. The traditionalists that Ian talked about could maybe wrap their mind around it, and that's what I think.
And then sudden death after that.
Yeah, I don't want to play another quarter. I played 16 games, 16 years in this league. There was not a time at the end of regulation I was like, you know something, bro? Let's play another 15 minutes.
Kyle doesn't think so.
Well, the Chiefs, Chris, listen to last night. The Chiefs played about, what did they score, about 5 minutes in overtime, something like that? It's 5 more minutes and the Bills get the ball. So it's not like we're asking you to play an exponentially
It seems like it seems like 5 minutes in real time.
Sure.
But the truth of the matter is, I ate my pregame meal 4 hours before that. So now the game is 3.5 hours. So now I'm running on empty.
Let's get you a power bar. I mean, this is the end of the playoffs. Let's get back out there.
There is a certain amount of restraint that a human being you have to have. Like, you can't just go forever. Mm-hmm. I know it looks that way, but it's not. At some point, it's like, is the product getting better? And if we're concerned about safety, the longer they're out there, we've already increased the season. Mm-hmm. Now we're trying to increase the games. I would be very, very careful.
I would also say, are we not gluttons? Was last night not the greatest game?
It was the greatest weekend that we have ever.
We're not satisfied.
And it was the last game.
Yeah. That was an amazing game.
I thought it was a terrible ending.
And everyone knows the rules. That's how it ends.
You're totally satisfied.
And yet everyone this morning wakes up and says, I wanted better. Yeah. I wanted more.
Not more, not better, fairer. You're totally satisfied with your overtime? I'm speaking to you.
I was fine with it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No changes, nothing.
It's not like they just had to kick a field goal. It used to be that way. Peyton Manning would never get on the field.
It was terrible.
They changed it. They had to score a touchdown. Their defense could not stop them. Mm-hmm. That's part of the game.
I know. Well, the Chiefs' offense didn't have to stop. Listen, if Josh Allen says heads, they're going to the title game. That's stupid. That's stupid.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do. Yes,
no, you
do.
Don't.
Yes,
we're sitting here today. Okay.
Go on.
Kansas City, I guarantee you, next Sunday is going to be playing.
You think the Chiefs were going to stop Josh if they called heads? They weren't stopping squat.
It's all part of it. It's all part of it. If you want to be a championship football team, Kansas City, they might have cried over it, but what did they do? Mm-hmm. They got better the next year, and what ended up happening? They ended up winning the next year, and they end up winning. That overall experience put more pressure on Kansas City. Say, you know what happened to us a couple years ago? We can really stick a knife in Buffalo. And that's what they did.
It's an interesting point.
Well, I mean, Mahomes has been on both sides of it, right? 2018, and then like last night, if you were to say, hey, Patrick, we're going to give you an extra quarter, he would not be for that. But in 2018, he would have wanted it because he would have been on the field. So where do you stop?
I think a 10-minute quarter, not even a full length. 10 minutes, just like they have now. And just play it out.
Fair.
Play it out. It's clean, it's simple,
I can't look
it's
at
not
that college
radical.
stuff, though, at the 35-yard line.
I hate that.
Nothing in the regular season. Don't touch
Not in the regular season, and not that stupid 25-yard line.
It doesn't value defense and special teams, which are part of the game.
Mm. I want to hear from players. I want to hear would you guys be down for a 10-minute quarter at the end of these games? Because you're, like, vehemently against that. I don't know. Yeah, I'd like to hear.
The quarter being reduced is better.
Yeah.
But none of these rules are perfect. It was a great weekend of football. I don't believe if the rule had been changed, I'd be sitting there saying, you know something? That was better. Buffalo got the ball, and you think they're going to score. Like, we don't know that overtime is going to, if it keeps going over, it's going to be great. It was fantastic. It's not perfect, but it was fantastic. We got the best product out there. NHL, hockey series. Don't nobody want to watch that. Baseball, ain't nobody watching that mess.
Yeah.
NBA, 7 games. It's too long. One shot, baby.
Can you
Chris,
say...
what if Josh got the ball back after that? How much better would that have been? It's not perfect. It would have been a better end to that game.
I'd have a
More
heart
dramatic.
attack.
Defense, stop them. It's a team game.
Chiefs defense wasn't stopping them either.
There wasn't enough drama for you? I don't
Could have more.
understand.
Yeah, save
What
the
do you
drama
need
for
more
somebody's
drama
mama.
for?
That was good.
It was No Country for Old Men. Great movie, terrible ending.
We've argued about that.
Ending. Do you think Buffalo was the better team yesterday?
No, they lost.
So then what are we arguing about here?
We're arguing about if Josh Allen says heads, they're going to the title game.
The
He said
justice
tails.
of it, that
That's
it
a
is.
parlor trick. That's
Kyle.
stupid.
It'd be an easier argument if you could say that Buffalo objectively played better, they were robbed, they didn't get the ball because the coin flip went the wrong way.